Hi, my name is Lisa Rangel, and I'm with Chameleon Resumes. We're an executive resume writing firm, and I'm excited to be here with you today. Today, we're going to talk about how to eliminate ageism from your resume. Now, whether it's an executive resume, a six-figure job resume, a professional level resume, when you have over 20 years of experience, it is a concern. You don't want to look dated. You don't want to look, as people tell me, I don't want to look old on my resume. And, so I'm going to show you how to eliminate elements of ageism from your resume. Now, before I go through some tips for you, I want to just preface it with, you're never going to be able to fully control how other people receive your document. So, in the workplace, unfortunately, there's always going to be a bias, and people can say it doesn't exist. And personally, I think a lot of what gets labeled as ageism is really just poor presentation of your skills through the longevity of your experience. So let's control what you can control. You can control how you present your experience and your wins and your achievements on your document. So let me give you some ideas and some tips, and we're going to walk through how to make sure that your resume looks current and relevant and modern, and this way age really won't even come up as an issue. So first, one of my biggest pet peeves with people when they say, I'm getting labeled as old, or people aren't calling me because I have too much experience, they think I'm overqualified. And then the first thing I do is I look at their resume, and their resume starts off with seasoned executive with over 30 years experience. I'm like, you're leading with age. If you're leading with age, and then you're mad that age is used against you, I think you gotta look at that. So, you can't lead with the number of years of experience that you have, especially if it's over 20 or over 30 years of experience, and then be upset if you believe that that's being used against you. Now, granted, it shouldn't be used against you, but you know what? Life's not fair, and what side do you want to be on? So lead with your experience. The way to fix this is to lead, with your achievements. Lead with your achievements. Lead with your wins that are relevant to the job that you are applying for. And second point that I'd like to make, second tip that I'd like to give you is sort of address a little bit in that first point, is I see the word being used, seasoned, to describe oneself. And it kills me every time I see it. I'm like, I like my French fries seasoned. I don't like my people seasoned. So don't use the word seasoned. I mean, it doesn't really help the cause, Again, you want to lead with what's relevant. You don't want to lead with seniority. You don't want to come across that you value seniority over relevant achievement. So don't lead with that. So, so number two would be not to call yourself seasoned. The third thing that I would suggest you not do in order to eliminate any elements of ageism from your resume is don't go back more than 15 to 20 years on your resume. And equally as important, if for any reason you are mentioning prior experience to 15, 20 years ago, which can happen. I mean, every person's situation is different. There could be some valid reasons why you will at least list without dates, maybe some prior experience to 15 to 20 years ago. You want to make sure that the achievements and the bullets that you're listing for those employers that are over 15 to 20 years ago don't have, just as many or more bullets than the current work that you're doing, because it's going to look visually like you validate or that you value what you did prior to 15 years ago, 20 years ago, as opposed to valuing what you do now. You don't want to look like you're living in yesteryear, that you're only focusing on what you used to accomplish. And that when you visually weight what you used to do with a lot more real estate on your resume than what you currently do, it subliminally sends a message that you're past your prime and what you're doing now isn't relevant, because what you did is what you're most proud of. And you know what? Even if that's the case, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But you don't need to visually demonstrate that, and you don't need to highlight it. The bottom line is, if you are demonstrating you are current and you are relevant and you have recent achievements, that are going to be of interest to the prospective employer. That's what you want to lead with. You know, if you're leading with this historical notion of how things used to be and what I used to do and here's how great I was, you know, nobody wants to reminisce. They want to know, what can you do for them? What can you do for them now? And how have you done it lately? And that's, you know, how you're going to be able to address ageism, which kind of gets to the fourth point. You want to make sure that you are looking at the job description, looking at the culture of the company, and seeing what the company will need. And then based on the achievements you have amassed over your time working, especially in recent years, the last 5 to 10 years, you want to highlight on the resume, in the summary and in the, you know, most recent employers, how what you have done, how what you have accomplished specifically is going to be relevant to that prospective employer. So if you focus on that, whether you did it recently having 30 years experience, 20 years experience, or 10 years of experience, really isn't an issue, because they want to know that you've done it recently and you've done it well and it applies to them. So if you focus on an achievement-based document that is relevant to the prospective employer, I'm telling you, age becomes a non-issue. You know, and you know, I just want to tell you that if you're listening, you've gotten this far, then obviously I can assume possibly that this is happening to you, you know, in some way or another. And hopefully these tips are relevant. But I just want to mainly, you know, share with you that I empathize because, you know, it's even happening to me and other experienced, you know, resume writers in our industry, you know, over the last few months, maybe even the last year. You know, there's been a surge with some competitors that, you know, younger competitors, and I don't begrudge anyone young entering this business because it's an awesome business where you get to help people. And there's some amazing coaches that are, and resume writers that are 10, 15, 20 years younger than me that are doing some amazing work. But at any age, you know, individuals that are disparaging others based on their age, especially the younger resume writers, younger coaches, you know, it doesn't do any, it doesn't help the cause, you know, especially if you're trying to attract executive clients, right? You don't put people down based on their age. So I'm telling you that there's even some of us experiencing it in our industry, you know, as individuals try to offset their brand and try to show that what they're doing is more current and more relevant. You know, that anyone who's doing this, you know, more than 10, 15, 20 years must be dated, must be ancient, must be, you know, I've been called a lot of different things. And, you know, I think I look pretty good for my age. But anyway, but the key is to don't take it personally, but see what you can learn from it, right? And personally, what I've learned from the situation to make sure I'm not having any issues of ageism being brought on me, even in my practice, you know, I make sure that I stay current. You know, in addition to heeding advice from individuals that I love and respect that are 10, 15, 20 years older than me and who have gone through things that I'm going through, I also seek out advice from individuals that are 10, 15, and 20 years younger than me for different aspects of my business. So, you know, I'm making sure that I get information from all ages. And again, when you're getting information from all ages, you then become, in my opinion, ageless, because you're really factoring what you need to do to stay relevant, to stay current, and to stay up to date. And then when you're doing those three things in your persona, in your brand, in your resume, in your job search tactics, then the age doesn't become an issue. It's about being relevant, again, relevant, current, and modern, and presenting how that's the case. So I hope these tips have helped you. If you've liked what you heard and you want to see more, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel underneath this video, and I'm putting out videos weekly, so you'll see some more videos coming shortly. And if you have comments maybe about how you're experiencing ageism, or specific questions how you can overcome what you might be experiencing in your job search pertaining to what you believe is your age, you know, post the question below, and I'll respond to every question and every comment. Or you can email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com, and I read and answer every email. And, and again, reference that you are asking an ageism question based on this video, so I at least have some context. And if you are emailing me at lr@chameleonresumes.com, and I want to make sure that I get back to you and I help you. But know that you're not in it alone. Not only are fellow job seekers experiencing it, like I said, me and other experienced writers in my field, we experience it. And, it's a little bit of a fight, but I'm telling you, you got what it takes to compete. I know I got what it takes to compete. And you just got to keep moving forward. Stick to what's relevant, stick to what's current, stick to how you achieve. And it's going to be okay. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your emails. Again, Lisa Rangel, Chameleon Resumes. We are an executive resume writing firm, and I look forward to our next time together. Be well.